Yeah, you know what? My uncle was John Wilkes Booth. He killed Abe Lincoln, and I'm proud of it. Good day, America. This is Nick Padula with Channel 312 News. Here's your news team. Nick Padula, Anthony Rini, Brendan Ray. It is the year 1924, and new theories have come to light about the death of former President Harding. Was he poisoned? Did he commit suicide?
America needs a better president, and that is Calvin Coolidge. I am doing America a great favor.
Or was he killed by his wife or cronies for failing to end corruption? For as he once said, it's not my enemies, it's my friends that keep me up at night.
Warren! Try this gum!
Oh, I don't know if I want to.
Try the gum, Warren!
Oh, no,
Try
it's
the
okay.
gum!
No,
Try the gum! Try this gum now!
Oh, okay.
Excellent!
After Harding's death, a lot of the corruption that happened during his administration began to surface. The most notable of these being Attorney General Daugherty selling pardons and liquor during 1924.
Mr. Daugherty, can I have some liquor?
Yeah, sure, kid. Here you go.
Yeah, thank you, buddy!
Please, Mr. Daugherty, you gotta get my friend out of jail. He was wrongly convicted, and I know the president can only give pardons for crimes, but you're the attorney general.
Depends. What can you do for me?
Absolutely nothing.
That works. It's a deal.
All right.
Fortunately, all the corruption during Harding's term subsided when Calvin Coolidge came along. Unfortunately, his rise to power wasn't as easy as he expected.
What are you talking about? He became president right after Harding died.
Quiet, you! This is the news! We go now to senior election correspondent Anthony Rini for the report on the recent election of 1924.
Well, Nick, you may be a little off about those election results. Calvin Coolidge won by over 250 electoral votes. He got the North and the West.
Yay.
Democratic candidate John Davis got the solid South and 136 electoral votes.
Yeehaw! Solid South Democrat all the way!
Calvin Coolidge would bring with him his policy of tax reduction, tariff increases, arms reduction, and participation in a world court. Fortunately, John Davis won't be able to implement his many policies, some of which included graduated income tax, antitrust laws, public works for the unemployment, and accessible credit for farm subsidies. They also wanted to join the League of Nations, which looks like we won't be joining anymore. Progressive candidate Robert La Follette, I should have won that election. Hopefully you've gotten some of your points across, including workers' rights to unionize, elimination of child labor, and the dissolution of monopolies. Hope we implement those policies.
We are here with Secretary of the Treasury Andrew Mellon to discuss trickle-down economics. Mr. Mellon, you are Coolidge's Secretary of the Treasury, correct?
Yes, I am.
Now, can you talk to me about some of the policies that you have discussed?
As Secretary of the Treasury, it is my job to reduce the taxes that have so increased since the Great War. I plan to reduce excise taxes, income taxes, and estate taxes, and many, many other taxes, so that big business can benefit. These tax policies will favor the rapid expansion of industrial investment. When the industries have to pay less taxes, then they will give more of their money that they wouldn't be paying for taxes to their employees. Thus, we all make more money!
Woo! That is a very interesting point, Mr. Mellon. Thank you for sharing. Now, as you were saying...
I've decided to name it Trickle-Down Economics, since the benefits of tax reductions will trickle down to the masses.
Oh, interesting. That'll never catch on.
60 years later.
Well, I need to fix the economy now that it's the 1980s, so I should, implement that Republican policy from the 20s. I think it's called trickle-down economics. I think I'll call it, Reaganomics.
Well, Mr. Mellon, thanks for joining me here today.
Thank you, sir.
Now we go to Anthony Rini on the Dawes Plan.
This year, Charles Dawes and his reparations committee have come up with a new plan, called the Dawes Plan. Original, right? Anyway, it's a little complicated to explain, so we're going to use this dramatization to explain to you how it works.
I'm America. I'm giving Germany money to pay off its debt to France and Britain.
Danke, mein von Kunstmann von Kronprinz. There you go, Great Britain. I'm sorry for killing all your people in the war.
Thank you, Governor. What? Hello, Governor. I do say we owe you some money.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Hey, wait a minute. This is the same amount of money I gave the Germans. Wait, this is even less money than I gave the Germans.
As you can see, this plan's working beautifully. Only a massive economic collapse could possibly ruin this plan.
There's been a new development in immigration recently. The National Origins Act has come out, also known as the Johnson-Reed Act, and it was signed into effect by President Calvin Coolidge. It got very, very strong support from Congress. Only 6 people voted against it.
All in favor?
Yay! Go, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Woo! All opposed? Nay. Guys, isn't this a little unjust?
Shut up! No one cares! This act limited the number of immigrants from any country to 2% of the total population of the United States in 1890 due to overpopulation. Immigrants from Asian countries will be completely shut out from America, while Latin American countries will still be allowed. We now go to senior African American correspondent Anthony Rini to have an interview with Marcus Garvey.
I'm here with Marcus Garvey, founder of the Back to Africa movement and the Universal Negro Improvement Association. Wait, are we allowed to say Negro, guys? Are we?
Yeah, that's fine. Keep going.
Oh, okay, good. Mr. Garvey, what do you stand for?
I stand for the economically equality for all African Americans, so that they are equal in terms for all privileges to white Americans.
How would you respond to the statement that African Americans will only be equal when they are economically equal?
I strongly endorse this statement, and it has been the forefront of my activism.
Can you explain why you believe that Africans should go back to Africa and form their own purely African-governed state?
Well, as I always say, if Europe is for the Europeans, then Africa is for the Africans.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And are the rumors true that you're being deported by Calvin Coolidge for mail fraud?
It is very, very true, but it is unjust. I, Marcus Garvey, am called the Black Moses among many African Americans.
Can we cut it now?
We can cut. We're good. It has been a good couple years for America. President Harding's death has led to many new discoveries, mostly bad ones, but you know, we'll ignore that. Calvin Coolidge was victorious in the recent election. The Dawes Plan is keeping everyone at peace and will continue to do so, and will have no repercussions ever. Trickle-down economics are going good. Marcus Garvey is a very silly man, and in other financial news, our stocks are raising, and experts say they will continue to raise for the next 20 to 30 years. Hooray!
It's the Roaring 20s!
Yeah. Well, folks, that about wraps it up for tonight's news. I hate to say goodbye, but I have a family to feed, and I hate my job. So, good night, America, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Oh crap, Ron? Good afternoon. Crap! Marcus Garvey is a very silly man. Dang it.
Well, Nick, you may be a little off about those election results. Did I say election?
No, you were fine! Well, Mr. Mellon, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, sir.
Now we go to Anthony Rini for the dang it.
Dawes.
Dawes Plan!
Okay, let's try that again. Though his rise to president... Next... Oh, crap.